Hello everyone, and welcome to my lecture on serpentinites. For this lecture, I will be going into detail regarding specific aspects of serpentinites, with a focus on their respective metamorphic processes, formation, and petrological significance. The key takeaways that can be expected from this lecture video are what serpentinites are, with an emphasis on mineral composition and a specific set of characteristics that are unique to serpentinites, how serpentinites form, specifically with a focus on serpentinization, mantle rocks, and their relation to tectonic processes, what their petrological significance is, with a focus on their contribution to tectonic processes, CO2 sequestration, and the production of magnetism in volcanic arcs. And then finally, I will close with a case study of Ring Mountain, located on the Tiburon Peninsula in the Franciscan complex of Western California. This shows evidence of serpentinites on the nearby shoreline, both in a blocky and a matrix form. First, let's start by defining what serpentinite rocks actually are. Serpentinite rocks are ultramafic metamorphic rocks that are mainly composed of Mg-rich serpentine group minerals. These rocks form through a hydrothermal metamorphic process called serpentinization, which I will elaborate on in the upcoming slides. Serpentinite rocks have the approximate chemical formula Mg3Si2O5OH4. However, this is subject to variation depending on the dominant present serpentine mineral and the surrounding environment of formation. Serpentinite rocks are typically fine-grained and dark green to black in color, and they often exhibit a mottled appearance. Due to the undergoing of serpentinization, these rocks tend to have a lower density than their protolith, peridotite, with a density of around 2,600 kilograms per meters cubed. This low density is resultant from serpentinite's high water content, with water accounting for around 12 to 14% of its total weight. To understand serpentinite rocks and how they interact with specific metamorphic and tectonic processes, a thorough review of serpentine group minerals is in order. As mentioned previously, serpentinite rocks are mainly composed of serpentine minerals, of which there are three varieties: lizardite, antigerite, and chrysotile. Lizardite, seen in the left image, is a very fine-grained and platy variety of serpentine, named for its resemblance to lizard skin. Lizardite can be green, brown, or light yellow to white in color, and is the most common variety. Antigerite, seen in the center image, is a higher temperature serpentine mineral that only forms above 250 degrees Celsius. Antigerite is typically blue-green in color with a platy or fibrous structure. Chrysotile, seen in the right image, is the most common type of asbestos and is characterized by its white to green color and its very fibrous or asbestiform habit. Chrysotile fibers are commonly found as veins in serpentinite rocks. Due to its asbestiform habit, chrysotile has been linked to various diseases and lung cancer when used in elements of construction or industry. So, how do serpentinites form? Serpentinites form through a type of hydrothermal metamorphism called serpentinization. Serpentinization is the hydration of magnesium-rich minerals in ultramafic rocks, and it follows the general chemical formula Mg2SiO4 plus H2O, which then produces Mg3Si2O5OH4 plus MgOH2 plus Fe3O4 plus H2, or olivine plus water, which then produces serpentine, brucite, magnetite, and hydrogen gas. Brucite and magnetite are byproducts of the serpentinization process and only form when the surrounding conditions allow. Brucite will form in high CO2 conditions, while magnetite will form in low silica conditions. The most common serpentinite protolith is peridotite, a mantle rock with very high amounts of olivine and clinopyroxene minerals. Serpentinization begins when water seeps into the cracks in ultramafic rocks, most commonly peridotite, which allows for the previously mentioned chemical reaction to begin. The olivine minerals interact with the water, which hydrates the olivine, producing serpentine minerals. Some of the substitutional iron Fe2 present in the olivine is oxidized to Fe3, which results in the formation of magnetite. This reaction then releases hydrogen gas. If there are large amounts of CO2 in the water, brucite will then form as well. As a result of this hydration reaction, the rock expands, resulting in the formation of cracks, weakening the rock. This cracking allows for more water to enter the rock, which then continues this cycle. An image of peridotite can be seen in the picture on the right. Now that we know how they form, let's talk about where serpentinites form. Serpentinites are formed due to the upwelling of mantle peridotite at mid-ocean ridges, when this peridotite interacts with the surrounding ocean water and then undergoes serpentinization. Due to this formation location, we can find serpentinites in a variety of places, but mainly on the ocean floor, in subduction zones, and near the shoreline as ophiolites. Serpentinites form almost immediately after mantle peridotite upwells and continues to travel as ocean floor with various tectonic plate movements. Due to its low density, when this serpentinite ocean floor reaches a subduction zone, buoyancy causes the rock to almost float, resulting in only partial subduction of the rock, while the unsubducted portion is thrust upon shorelines, resulting in serpentinite ophiolites. An image of serpentinite ophiolites from California can be seen in the image on the right. So, now that we know what serpentinites are and how and where they form, let's discuss what this means for metamorphic petrology. What makes serpentinites so important? Well, through various distinct processes, serpentinites play very important roles in geophysics, tectonics, and geochemistry. Geophysically, serpentinites are responsible for the production of magnetism at volcanic arcs. Through serpentinization, the byproduct magnetite is produced. Magnetite is a magnetic mineral that results from the iron 3 plus substitution of iron 2 plus in the serpentinization reaction, as mentioned previously. Magnetite is present in some serpentinites, and due to its eventual attempted subduction and serpentinite's low density, it ends up existing in volcanic arcs. Regarding tectonics, serpentinites are essentially a catalyst for subduction. Due to weakening and fracturing because of serpentinization, the subducting serpentinite is more flexible, and this increased bending allows for easier subduction. Geochemically, serpentinites indirectly provide a method of natural CO2 sequestration through the production of brucite as a byproduct of serpentinization. An image of brucite and magnesite can be seen in the bottom left corner. When brucite forms in highly CO2 concentrated areas and then continues to react with that present CO2, a carbonate mineral, magnesite, forms. The formation of this mineral essentially locks up the surrounding CO2 into itself, reducing CO2 concentration in the water or surrounding atmosphere. Because of this process, serpentinites are currently being studied for their CO2 emission reduction properties. Now, let's look at a case study of the various forms of serpentinite blocks and matrix found in Ring Mountain on the Franciscan Complex located in Western California. Serpentinite is often referred to as California State Rock. Ring Mountain is located just east of the San Andreas Fault, which it also predates. A map of this locality can be seen on the right for reference. Ring Mountain is home to an abundance of serpentinite melange. A melange is a chaotic body of mixed rock that often results from the combining or mixing of various rock types through subduction collisions. These melanges exhibit a block in matrix fabric, meaning that fine-grained, sheared rocks act as a matrix surrounding these less sheared clasts. The serpentinite melange in Ring Mountain consists of large blocks of serpentinite surrounded by a sheared serpentinite matrix. Brucite and magnetite can also be present in the surrounding matrix. In this case, the sheared, fine-grained serpentinite is resultant from both subduction-related deformation as well as serpentinization. An example of this serpentinite melange can be seen in the photo on the right. As a result of the high serpentinite concentration in Ring Mountain, the surrounding Tiburon Peninsula has areas of serpentinite barren. Serpentinite barrens are areas that have soil derived from serpentinite rocks, which have high heavy metal concentrations, specifically regarding nickel and chromium. This contaminated soil prevents plant and ecosystem growth, resulting in an area of barren land. A photo of the Serpentinite Barren can be seen on the right. Note its lack of greenery and animal life. This concludes my lecture on serpentinites. I hope that you now have a better understanding of what serpentinites are, how and where they form, their petrological significance, as well as how they appear in Ring Mountain in the Franciscan complex. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you. Here are my research and image references.